Tom, I know you had some stuff you wanted to talk about, comic related stuff.
Oh, a lot of Teen Titans. Yeah, so I was watching. I feel like we don't talk enough about Teen Titans Go, which might actually be the best comic book adaptation going as far as like.
It is awesome.
It's awesome. It's great. It's also the Teen Titans Go to the movies is one of my favorite comic book. It's legit. Teen Titans Go makes me laugh out loud when I watch it, which is really hard to do. And it's gotten to the point now when I read other things with the Teen Titans, I have a hard time not imagining, like, I'm like, it's not the Teen Titans Go character. Yeah, like Beast Boy. I just think of the Teen Titans Go Beast Boy whenever I see Beast Boy. And there's a little part of me that's a little disappointed that it's not the Teen Titans Go Beast Boy. Like it's just like something about that show is just very like
it's fun.
It's fun and it's very clever and like they do lots of very clever things. And they had an episode with De La Soul, the pop group, was in it. And I was like, I was watching it with my son, and I was like, oh, De La Soul's in this? I was like, oh, they're really in this. Like they're in the whole story for like the whole 11-minute story. And it's all about it's a very meta episode, right? Because first of all, the Teen Titans are trying to help De La Soul get their music back, which if you know anything about De La Soul's current status is like many of their most famous and critically acclaimed albums are not available on streaming because their record company and them have never been able to agree on how to split the royalties, and it's always been like a very contentious thing. It gives me a chance to plug one of my favorite podcasts from this last year. There's let me look up the exact name of it. It was a podcast all about Prince Paul, the producer who worked on the first 3 De La Soul albums with De La Soul. And when they first started, they were kind of careless about what samples they used with stuff because they didn't think that they were going to be popular. And
that was also a time that there was a lot of like legal gray area on sampling until like Paul's Boutique could never be made today.
Well, so what ended up happening was like they listed everything that they made, right? They're like, here's all the songs we did. They gave it to the record company, and essentially their version of the story, at least Prince Paul's version of the story, is that the record company said they got it all cleared, but really all the record company did was go clear the ones that were the most obvious because they didn't think this was going to be anything big. Yeah. And then, me, myself, and I became like a legitimate like top 40 hit, and then everyone came after them because now everyone was paying attention to it, and all of a sudden they realized that all the stuff they thought they had permission for, they didn't have permission for. Like they didn't really pay for any or get it cleared. And so ever since then, like their music in the digital age has always been sort of like wrapped up in all kinds of different legal issues, like to put it on Spotify or something, Tommy Boy, their former label, would put it up there, but De La Soul would only get 10% of like the royalties. So De La Soul said, no, we're not going to put it up if we're only going to get that much. It's been like this contentious thing for a long time. And that's kind of in a backwards way what the show has been was an alien comes down and digitally sucks up all of De La Soul's music. And the Teen Titans are trying to impress De La Soul with like, hey, yeah, we're super cool. We can get you to Mars to go find the alien that ate all your music. So they take the Titans Tower to Mars to fight this alien, and finally they defeat him and get their music back. But there's tons of like De La Soul references within it. The podcast is called What Had Happened Was, and it's hosted by Open Mike Eagle, who's a hip hop artist. And the first series is all with Prince Paul, which was my favorite podcast this past year. There's like 10 episodes. It was awesome. Lots of cool stories in it. But it was really funny and really well done. And I was like, man, they actually got De La Soul to be on this, the real actual De La Soul to voice their characters who had like superpowers based around their songs. And like it was just really cool. And it was really
deep episode of Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, and it was very meta, but it was really clever and really funny. And my son really enjoyed it and asked me who De La Soul was afterwards. But
Well, son,
it made me think
you.
a lot about Teen Titans, you know, because I was like, oh, that's crazy. I'm sort of thinking about, you know, how Teen Titans has sort of become mainly Teen Titans Go, but also the Titans series on WB. To me, it feels like, I don't know, the Teen Titans are kind of having like a cultural renaissance in that they seem to have grown into something that kind of extends outside of the comics in a way that I wouldn't have imagined kind of when I was a kid.